role, I lead the development and execution of RTO9 strategic and annual business plans in collaboration with the board of directors and staff. I oversee all financial operations, transfer payment agreements, and organizational initiatives while providing leadership and support to staff and volunteers. This position oversees the partnerships, the funding programs, and the marketing deliverables, ensures compliance with the governance and reporting requirements, and facilitates board and annual general meetings. Acting as RTO9's key liaison, I represent the organization with government, industry partners, and external committees to advance tourism development across the region, while working closely with our regional development advisors, Louis, Mia, and Katie. We would like to acknowledge the land that we identify as RTO9 as the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Huron-Wendat peoples. RTO9 honors the land, the people, and the treaties, recognizing the original guides of these territories and their enduring contributions. As treaty people, we all share the responsibility to uphold these agreements in a fair and respectful way. As a partner of Indigenous Tourism Ontario, RTO9 is committed to supporting Indigenous communities by creating space for their stories and helping foster socioeconomic growth through tourism. And this is RTO9. So we are one of the 11 regional tourism organizations created and funded by the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Gaming. Representing Southeastern Ontario, RTO9 brings together tourism partners across 11 destinations, spanning from Cornwall, Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry, and Prescott Russell in the east, along the St. Lawrence River through Brockville, Gananoque, and Kingston. The region also includes shared tourism assets such as the Rideau Canal with RTO11 and Ottawa Tourism, and Frontenac County and Lennox and Addington as well. In the west, RTO9 represents the Bay of Quinte and Prince Edward County, uniting the region under a collaborative tourism umbrella. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Mia, one of our regional development advisors.
Hi everyone, as Bonnie mentioned, my name is Mia Robertson. I am the Regional Development Advisor for the Kingston area. If we haven't met, I would love to, excuse me, I'd love to meet with you and chat. I'm just going to tell you a bit about ourselves. I am with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Gaming under the Regional Services Branch. I'm on the tourism side, but we do have advisors around the province as well as in the Kingston area who work on the community side. We are a multi-ministry service provider. So as I work on the tourism side with mostly Experience Ontario and the students, the summer student opportunities program. And my colleague Alain works on the community side, and he works mostly with the Ministry of Seniors and Accessibility, Francophone Affairs, Ministry of Citizenship and Multiculturalism. There is a kind of an intersect between tourism and community. So if I'm not the one working on a particular grant that you're interested in, I can always put you in contact with Alain. That includes like seniors community, enhancing access for spaces for everyone, the Francophone community grant, and things like that. So the main four things that we do is, like I mentioned, transfer payment and administration and program delivery. So we deliver ministry financial and non-financial programs and services to primarily not-for-profit organizations. This includes consultation services and connecting potential applicants with ministry funding program depending on their project. And this is the whole grant life cycle from consultations all the way through transfer payment agreements and final reports. We also help with capacity building and organizational support. So if you are new to the tourism industry or well established, if you're not sure who to speak to or level of government you should be contacting, you could always shoot me an email and I would be happy to chat and put you in contact with who you need. And in that same line, I love meeting with organizations and just knowing what their current issues and what they're up to, because sharing that knowledge helps me provide information to the ministry if they're asking for anything. And it also helps develop government programs policies, especially when we meet with the other advisors in the area and we're discussing tourism in Ontario as a whole. And we could see that there are gaps, places that I could be like, oh, Kingston, that's an issue in Kingston, and they'd be like, oh, that's an issue in Hamilton or up north. So providing that local intelligence. We also do public affairs support. So we provide support for public affairs activities, which includes coordination and preparation of documents for tours and events that could involve the premier, ministers, deputy ministers, and assistant deputy ministers. So if they are coming to the area, they will sometimes reach out to the regional development advisor and ask who they should speak to, um, and what areas they should see. So being in contact with everyone in the area and getting to know their products helps me with that. So like I mentioned, my contact information is on the screen. Happy to put it in the chat as well. And if you have any questions about anything, do not hesitate to reach out, and I'm happy to find the answer if I don't. And if it is regarding a grant that I'm not involved with, I'm happy to put you in contact with the other advisor in the area, whose name is Ale. Thank you.
Thanks, Mia. I'd also like to recognize we have one of our board members on our call today, Liam Carey. Thanks for joining us, Liam. This is what we call our tourism funnel. The tourism funnel flows from the ground up, beginning with the local tourism businesses such as hotels, attractions, and tour operators that create the visitor experience. These businesses are supported and promoted by your local destination marketing organization, Tourism Kingston, which packages and markets community level offerings. DMOs feed into the regional tourism organization, the RTO, which build broader regional identities and initiatives. And in turn, we connect with Destination Ontario. That's the provincial body that markets Ontario as a whole. At the top, Destination Canada promotes the entire country and global markets. Information, products, and branding flow upward through the funnel, while marketing, funding, and visitor demand flow back down, ultimately benefiting the local businesses. And meet the team. Meg Dabros is our operations manager, Steve Weir, senior marketing manager, and Leslie McDougall, digital marketing manager. Each of the team members will have an opportunity to address themselves later. I'm just going to go over some of our operational pillars right now, starting with product development. So under product development, our focus is on strengthening partner capacity by identifying and closing gaps that may limit product development and ensuring that opportunities are actively pursued across the region. By equipping our partners with the right tools, resources, and knowledge, we enable them to create high-value competitive tourism products that stand out in the marketplace. We also encourage innovation and collaboration, helping partners to enhance existing offerings or bring new experiences to life. Over this past fiscal year, this work has been advanced through a series of strategic initiatives, including in-depth data research to guide decision-making, targeted workshops, and webinars to build skills and foster collaboration, and ongoing industry communications to keep partners informed, engaged, and aligned with regional priorities. Check out our industry website, rto9.ca, to keep informed. Now I'm going to turn it over to Steve and Leslie to cover our marketing pillar.
Thanks, Bonnie. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. My name is Steve Weir, and I'm the Senior Marketing Manager for RTO 9, Regional Tourism Organization 9, Southeastern Ontario. My role as Senior Marketing Manager with RTO 9 is to lead the creation and execution of marketing strategies that position our region as a must-visit travel destination. My role is to lead RTO 9's marketing vision, build partnerships, and deliver campaigns that strengthen Southeastern Ontario's reputation as a vibrant, connected destination. We work closely with federal and provincial partners, tourism operators, and municipalities, as well as destination marketing organizations. The team here at Tourism Kingston on the call today will be speaking, as well as we work with destination marketing programs. Krista Leclerc, Executive Director of Kingston Accommodation Partners, is participating on the call today and will be speaking later as well. We try our best to align campaigns and maximize reach, fostering cross-promotion amongst destinations in Southeastern Ontario to encourage multi-destination visitation. Our paid media strategy includes seasonal and thematic marketing campaigns in partnership with Destination Ontario and other tourism partners. Campaigns like our waterway guides, winter wellness, culinary, and cycling trails are just a few examples. These campaigns target major cities and regions in Ontario including Toronto and Ottawa. As well, we target Quebec residents, in particular those in Montreal and the surrounding area. We also target New York State, cities like Buffalo and Syracuse, to attract our neighbors to the south who are interested in exploring Canada close to home. In addition to working with our destination partners, we strengthen our reach by working closely with key provincial organizations like the Culinary Tourism Alliance, Attractions Ontario, and Ontario by Bike. These partnerships help us extend the Southeastern Ontario brand to targeted niche audiences like foodies, families, and active travelers through established and trusted channels. In earned media, we amplify our efforts and build credibility with our audience through joint media releases and regional marketing kits. We coordinate hosted fam tours that cross sub-regional boundaries, collaborating with influencers who can authentically speak to multiple locations in one trip. We also pitch regional storylines that highlight unique multi-destination experiences and itineraries. In partnership with our marketing agency, we develop an annual marketing plan that outlines campaigns, budgets, and key performance indicators. Access to research and visitor data help to guide joint decision-making. Destination marketing organizations are your local experts in their communities. They know their audience and assets the best. We at the RTO work in partnerships with DMOs and DMPs to align our messages, strengthen the visitor journey, and avoid duplication. It's very critical to work together to increase the region's visibility and competitiveness in Ontario and in Canada, and internationally as well. We create stronger visitor experiences that encourage longer stays and return trips while ensuring that marketing dollars are maximized through alignment and collaboration. Now over to Leslie McDougall, our digital marketing manager. Leslie?
Thanks, Steve. Good morning, everyone. I'm Leslie, the digital marketing manager with RTO9, and my role is to manage our digital presence, including our website, social media channels, blogs, and newsletters, and to use those platforms to share the story of Southeastern Ontario with potential visitors. As you saw from the map, Southeastern Ontario is a large and diverse region. Within it, there are thousands of tourism-related businesses, from accommodations and restaurants to farms, shops, galleries, attractions, trails, and more. My role is to promote the region as a whole through our own digital channels. I'm fortunate to work with a small but gifted team of contracted creators who support our content development. This team includes our digital ambassadors who live through the region and capture authentic photos and short-form video content. Emily is the ambassador for the Kingston region, and perhaps you've met her along her travels. We also work with several freelance writers who help us craft blog stories, itineraries, and travel guides. I build our seasonal content calendar, which serves as a roadmap for weekly storytelling across our channels. These calendars are guided by consumer research, seasonal themes, and emerging travel trends. Once drafted, the calendars are shared with our DMO partners like Tourism Kingston. Our website and channels are designed to inspire people to visit the region rather than operate as a traditional directory. We share stories, blogs, reels, contests, and a monthly events blog to highlight experiences and spark curiosity. When visitors are ready for more practical details, like where to stay or what's happening, we link them directly to our destination partner website. This approach helps visitors plan their trip while bringing more people to your local businesses. We connect regularly with all the DMOs across the region each month, and they have the opportunity to share new offerings, events, and opportunities they would like us to highlight. We value every business and are committed to showcasing as many as possible over time. So while each campaign can only spotlight a number of limited businesses at once, our focus is on long-term exposure across the region through rotating themes and seasonal campaigns, as Steve mentioned before. Staying connected with Tourism Kingston helps ensure your business is considered for future opportunities. On the industry side, our RTO9 website and monthly newsletter are your go-to resources for anything tourism related to help you grow your business. You'll find information on upcoming workshops, funding opportunities, data insights, and more. The website has recently been updated to be more user-friendly on mobile and desktop, and is a one-stop shop for everything you need to stay connected in tourism. And if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, you'll see a QR code at the end of this presentation. And now back to you, Bonnie.
Great. Thank you, Leslie. Our workforce development pillar. Our priority is to position tourism as a career of choice in southeastern Ontario by highlighting the many opportunities the sector offers and by raising awareness of its vital role in our regional economy. We are committed to increasing industry access to valuable workforce development tools, resources, and training that strengthen skills, build capacity, and foster long-term career growth. By ensuring that the tourism sector is valued and supported across the region, we empower industry partners to make informed decisions, strategic decisions about their workforce needs. Over this past fiscal year, the work has included sharing of industry research, active participation in workforce development initiatives, and a successful tourism summit we held this past November. Investment attraction. We are committed to connecting tourism partners with relevant, timely, and actionable data and research that supports informed decision-making. By collaborating on high-quality, high-value research projects, we ensure that partners have access to the insights they need to guide investments, identify emerging opportunities, and strengthen competitiveness. This information has translated into meaningful action across the region. Over the past fiscal year, our work has focused on advancing research initiatives and exploring new investment opportunities that align with both industry needs and regional priorities. Now I'm going to turn it over to Meg to talk about our partnerships.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Meg Dabros. I'm the operations manager here at RTO9. In my role, I help oversee the Partnership Fund program and support a variety of administrative initiatives, from organizing board activities and workshops to webinars and product development projects. So one of the key pillars that guides the work we do here at RTO9 is partnerships. Our goal with this pillar is simple: to provide meaningful support to tourism partners across southeastern Ontario and to build strong collaborative relationships through ongoing communication. We do this by working on special projects with strategic partners such as Destination Ontario, Destination Canada, the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario, the Tourism Industry Association of Canada, and sector groups like the Culinary Tourism Alliance, Ontario by Bike, Attractions Ontario, and many others. These partnerships open the door to new opportunities and help strengthen the region's economic development. Another major piece of this work is our Partnership Fund program. This is a 50-50 cost share funding initiative we release each year to support businesses in enhancing their tourism products. The funding categories change annually based on what the industry needs most, whether that's signage, marketing initiatives, professional photos, event support, or training opportunities. The goal is always to help businesses stay competitive, fill gaps, and be market ready. Beyond funding and collaboration within the industry, our team also represents Southeastern Ontario regional, provincial, and national events as speakers and panelists. By participating in these larger conversations, we're able to highlight the amazing work happening across our region and make sure our destinations and businesses have a voice on a bigger stage. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Ted Robertson from the team at Tourism Kingston to share some more information about their organization and the work they're doing to assist tourism in the Kingston area.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm privileged to be here speaking on behalf of my colleagues at Tourism Kingston. We are a very strong team, and if you can advance the slide, we'll introduce you to some folks. We're a strong team of 18 currently. We're led by our CEO, Megan Knott. Brittany and Claire look after us in many ways. Brittany in operations and Claire in people and culture. Angie looks after the Visitor Information Center, where we welcome so many people to the city every day throughout the year. Alex Elliott joined us in November as our Managing Director of Sales. I work in the business events or meetings and conferences portfolio. Ella Wang is our international travel trade coordinator, focusing very, very intently on the Chinese market as well as a few others. Rob joined us as well in 2025, working on developing sport business and communications. Next slide, please. Andrea Gunn, who's been with us for a number of years and edits all of our strategic communications, ensuring they align with our brand priorities. We have a fabulous creative director, Derek Rowcliffe, again, who's been with the organization for many years. Elaine Purnama works along with two new members who we didn't have headshots available for them just yet, but Amanda Tryon and Meg Mavity have joined us, and they all work collectively in brand and marketing communications for the organization. Ashley Bradshaw, who many of you will know, Ashley works in trade and media. Joanne Lawton is our film commissioner and works with another new member of the team in 2025, Tyler Platt, working in film and media strategy. Moira Demarest is our music officer, and that creative industries portfolio is supported by Riley Stringer, who works in marketing and communications specifically for creative industries. Next slide, please. So that's the Tourism Kingston team. As far as the impact of tourism overall in Kingston, it really is quite phenomenal. Representing 9% of Kingston's workforce, which in short is thousands of people. We have 44 accommodation properties across the city. We have an absolutely fabulous location, perhaps one of the strongest in the country, where we are proximate to about a third of Canada's population. And as far as how we stand with domestic visitors, we have more than any other census metropolitan area relative to the size of our population. Next slide, please. In terms of economic impact, and just to put this to give a little bit of context, so the overall estimated economic impact of tourism in Kingston, the visitor economy, is $775 million. Compare that with the total operating capital investment budget for the city of Kingston in 2025, which was $640 million. So it is a huge part of the city's economy, with 2.6 million visitors and hundreds of thousands of room nights. And an obvious goal of ours is to increase that percentage of overnight visitors. We want to attract people to Kingston, and we want them to stay longer. Meg, if you could play the brand video now, that'd be great.
We will gather at the shore to give thanks, in a place where time is feathered in stone. When the sky opens, it begins to rain. Each petal sighs with relief. We will follow the lifeline of the lake and feel the climb of the seasons enter our body. Marquez opens his epic novel with Buendia facing a firing squad. He remembers when his father took him to discover ice. We will live in the truth of our age and moment and walk in the hollow of cobbled streets. In the cafe, light bulbs float above the evening and string the life of a conversation together. We will watch the earth unfold in wondrous color and listen to her sing her munificent gifts. Divers say they love to dive because they enter a world unto itself, submerged in aqueous sound, holding to a single beam of light. We will understand that everything is in motion and flux, and know that it is all spiraling inward. Here in winter you can skate on the lakes. It's magical to think you are standing on water. We will follow the echo of our footsteps down to the lake where we will begin again. Shall we meet again? Same place, same time? Bamapi, look for my red umbrella.
Centrum, a multivitamin scientifically...
We're not advocating Centrum. We're immensely proud of that video, and hopefully each of you sees yourself in there at some point. I know I certainly do. Our mission at Tourism Kingston is to promote Kingston, Ontario as a uniquely historic and hip destination to explore year-round. With our vision Our vision is to excel in creating, promoting, and growing opportunities for Kingston to be a premier destination for individuals, groups, and businesses, to leverage tourism as a key driver of a healthy economy of Kingston, and to champion Kingston as a destination for local, regional, national, and international tourism. We have a very strong brand that can be summed up in the phrase that Kingston is a youthful, vibrant city that never stops surprising. And I'm not a native Kingstonian, and I can tell you that vibrancy and those constant surprises are certainly what attracted me to move here 8 years ago, and I've certainly never regretted that decision. As far as our brand itself, the Place brand, if you can move to the next slide, Meg, that'd be great. The Place brand, which I think has evolved so wonderfully and is in everything that we do, that's our out-facing brand, Kingston, and then that has been adopted as a corporate identity, certainly with Tourism Kingston, with Kingston Accommodation Partners, and Kingston Economic Development, which gives us a consistency that is across sectors and across activities and interests that in the outreach that we do. Next slide, please. Our overarching strategic guide is what's called the Integrated Destination Strategy. The first IDS, which was a foundational document that followed on our creation as a destination marketing organization, it dates from 2019. And it did laid that foundation for the work that we do at Tourism Kingston. The IDS was refined and updated in 2023. That brought some focus on high impact initiatives, governance mechanisms, advancing sector specific strategies, and that includes creative industries, sport, and culinary were particular focuses in the second iteration of the IDS. And the third integrated destination strategy was worked on last year and was presented and approved at council in the latter part of 2025, focusing on items like our population growth, our aging infrastructure, shifting community perceptions, and those growing expectations that visitors to our city have. And that will guide the work that we do for the next number of years. And that flows directly into the sector portfolios that we focus in as far as our outreach activity, our marketing activity. If you can advance to the next slide, please. And those sector portfolios, next slide, are the one in which I work, business events or meetings and conferences, as it's often referred to. And we have some strong priorities as far as business events looking forward. We need to build a sales pipeline for the conference center development that is now we trust in the final stages of approval. We're actually hoping for a more formal announcement to be coming before the end of this quarter that would see us building a conference center in downtown Kingston. That will lift us into a whole new level in the meetings and conferences world. We've also developed and want to continue to grow our food recovery program that we built in partnership with Lionhearts, a local Kingston charitable organization, and a national organization called La Table des Chefs. And also to continue, it's important that people understand the value of business events. It is a very high value tourism sector with business events, travelers on average spending 3 times what we see leisure travelers spending. And we want to create that high value tourism on a year-round basis. In order to do this, we need funding for things like the conference center. Next slide, please. Travel trade is an important and growing sector as we pursue year-round tourism activity in the city. As part of that work, we want to advance market-ready products and packaged itineraries, excuse me, that drive that year-round visitation. We obviously have a high season that runs throughout the summer. Our goal is to build shoulder seasons and winter activity with initiatives like Kingston Licious as an example. We also seek, and this is where Ashley works very, very actively, in growing that demand that is led by trade, by operators in the tourism, the travel trade tourism sector. We develop strategic partnerships, and we participate in trade missions like Rendezvous Canada and conventions like the Student and Youth Travel Association events that happen every year. We are also working aggressively to position Kingston as a cruise hub in the Great Lakes. We're seeing a huge increase in that tourism sector, one that existed for decades in Canada, and is now seeing a revival that's quite exciting. And one of the great needs in the travel trade sector is a deep water dock, so that those cruise ships can actually come right into Kingston and dock on shore, as opposed to using tenders. Next slide, please. Sport is one of our largest, I think it is our largest sector after leisure travelers. And just to put that in perspective, it represents roughly 10 times the activity of what my sector in business events does. We need to strengthen our sport hosting capacity. That we do through a number of things. Supporting local organizations is a huge part of that, and driving that shoulder season tourism. Getting Kingston known within the sport industry is a key goal as well. We need to be involved and active with regional, provincial, national, and international organizations as far as those hosting opportunities are concerned. And we also advocate strongly for investment and funding in that sector. Ensuring we have up-to-date venue assessments and support to stay competitive. There are funds available at various levels and various channels, and we need to tap into that. The big need for sport is bid funding and infrastructure funding, and maintaining our sport infrastructure and expanding what we have to attract more and larger events. In the creative industry sector, in the next slide, please, Kingston has developed a reputation as a fabulous location for shooting television, films, both independent and larger studio productions. Many of you probably see these on a regular basis, things like Murdoch Mysteries and The Mayor of Kingstown are two examples that come to mind. The film and media team support that activity through training and workshops to build a local workforce who are there and available when these productions come to town. That doubles the impact, if you will, of film and media production in the city. And we are very active at international industry events, promoting Kingston as that fabulous destination to film productions. We need a national and provincial bid fund and access to Kingston Penitentiary to advance that work further. I'm not sure how many of you are active who are gamers, but there is a huge industry in esports and immersive media tourism activity, and we're working very, very intently to tap into that and host those events here in Kingston. And also we're seeking a province-wide initiative, the Ontario Film Communities Alliance, that seeks to advocate for the many things that are listed there, but essentially creating greater tax incentive benefits for people filming productions outside of major centers like the GTA. That will help position Ontario more competitively with BC, where a huge amount of film activity takes place, and in the United States. The next slide, please. Kingston is a music city. There's no doubt about that. We have a very strong presence as far as music tourism is concerned. Moira leads that activity. And supports the Kingston Music Strategy and our local stakeholders. As you know, artists oftentimes struggle, and our work is aimed at empowering them, supporting the work that they do, and investing in the talent that they have. We create professional development opportunities for local artists, and do the best that we can to showcase them through the work that we do. As far as needs in that sector, we certainly need rehearsal spaces. There's great demand for that from our local artists, and rehearsal spaces that are accessible to them, as well as larger music venues that can showcase a greater variety of musical entertainment. We advocate on behalf of artists as far as accessing grant funding, career paths, government investment, and all of the things that maintain that sector and keep the vibrancy that we all appreciate. And we are very active with our key industry and bodies and partners in the outreach work that Moira and Riley do as far as music is concerned. That's an overview of the work that we do at Tourism Kingston. And I encourage you to reach out to anybody on our team if you have questions about the various sectors or the work that we do, our strategies, any of those things. And I will now stop talking and pass things over to Priscilla Clare, Executive Director at Kingston Accommodation Partners.
Thank you so much, Ted. Great presentation. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with CAP or Kingston Accommodation Partners, we've been around a while. The board there was really instrumental in getting Tourism Kingston to the point that it is today. And of course, Megan Knott's leadership, as she was at CAP before and is now over at TK. So we work really closely together, but we are separate organizations. But even throughout Ted's presentation, you would have seen, on each sector, there was a need identified. And that's because we go hand in hand in advocating for these things. But Kingston Accommodation Partners, we are essentially the hotel association for the Kingston community. And we have a few roles that we play, but largely advocacy is kind of our key priority. And here you'll see our team. So we have a very small team. Myself and Colleen. We also actually just hired Megan Zell, who is our communication specialist and policy advisor. So really excited to see our team grow to 3, which is big for us as we continue to kind of grow in who we are and what it is that we're working on. And we also share an office with Tourism Kingston. So if you are in Kingston and you come by, you'll notice that the film office, the music office, Tourism Kingston, and CAP all are together. So we collaborate a lot. Next slide, please. So here is our mission. So I mentioned that we're the leading voice of advocacy. We do kind of lean into that accommodation lens in all that we do. But that being said, we understand that the rising tide raises all ships here. So in our sector, we advocate, within our industry, we advocate across sectors, really understanding that, we're looking to keep food and beverage, business events, sport events, all of these different groups and sectors and pillars healthy so that the accommodation sector can thrive as well. So, really focused on those pieces and working across sectors. Next slide, please. Okay, so some of the things that we do kind of from an operations perspective is, again, I mentioned the advocacy side. So we have over 44 member properties in our community, and we work really closely in kind of our member services. So understanding who they are, what their needs are, educating them. An example of that would be that there's a human trafficking awareness day coming up, and we work every year with our properties to make sure that any new staff that have been hired are being trained in this space. So that's just one example, but we work with our properties and our members throughout the year. The other thing that we do is manage the municipal accommodation tax. So Kingston is really seen as a leader across the province and across Canada in managing the municipal accommodation tax. We're one of 2 that I know of municipalities where 100% of the municipal accommodation tax dollars go back to tourism. So, we take a lot of pride in managing that program and then flowing the funds through to either looking at development projects or marketing and sales through the Tourism Kingston team and those types of things. Next slide, please. Thank you. So with our advocacy hat on, we do a lot throughout the year. So we do attend the Hotel Association of Canada Hill Days, where we're on Parliament Hill meeting with ministers, senators, and MPs, and senior level bureaucrats, of course. We also participate in Hill Days through the Tourism Industry Association of Canada. Kingston this year we organized our own Hill Day for the first time. So we knew this last year. We have started working on contract with Crestview. So they're a lobby group that we work with. And so we coordinated with them a Hill Day in Ottawa. We took with us, I think that this is really great. So we took with us partners from the Chamber of Commerce, the DBIA, Tourism Kingston, and the city to really amplify the voice for Kingston. And our key asks when we were there were around the rail service in Kingston. And I'm really excited to see that just last week, the consultations for Alto opened up with a second alternative, which would be more beneficial to Kingston. So that is an advocacy win. We have been pushing for that for months. Another one is the causeway. So understanding that we need a long-term dynamic solution for the bridge that we have there. So that is a key federal priority for us. And then Kingston Penitentiary as well. So that is our third file, and understanding that that site, we need longevity, we need long-term agreements to be able to gain access, to continue filming tours and that sort of thing with community partners. So that was a really exciting kind of thing for us to go and have our first annual Kingston Hill Day. Of course, we also participate provincially with the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario with their Queen's Park Day, heading to Toronto and really advocating there with, again, ministers and MPPs. ORMA, the Ontario Restaurant Hotel Motel Association. So a bigger lean there on restaurant and hotels, but we work with ORMA on their Queen's Park Day as well. This was their first annual. I just yesterday came back from ROMA, the Rural Ontario Municipal Association. So we had 11 meetings with different ministries. Again, leaning into some of the provincial files that are important to us here in Kingston, as well as Ted mentioned. So this might look like film tax credits. This might look like labor, of course, sporting and business events, incentive funding, infrastructure, addictions and mental health, these types of things. And then again, so that's the winter version. And then there's a summer opportunity that's similar to that called AMO. And so we attend that as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. So a big part of advocacy is really making sure that Kingston is on radar of those that we partner with in all of these spaces. So we want to make sure that we have federal and provincial representation as well, and that we can volunteer our time in a way that helps keep these organizations healthy. So we do I sit on the board for the Tourism Industry Association of Ontario, the Tourism Industry Association of Canada. Meetings Mean Business Canada. As Ted mentioned, business events is a really important sector for us. And with that comes the announcement about the conference center that Kingston is getting. And so with that, there's a lot of work that needs to be done behind the scenes to make sure that that project can be healthy and successful and hit the ground running when it opens. So I participate on that board, the ORMA board as well. So these are places where, again, we're making sure that these organizations are healthy with our experience and knowledge, and that we are also being able to communicate Kingston's needs as well. I also sit on the Provincial Advisory Committee for the Hotel Association of Canada, which is a really great provincial and city member group that comes together and talks about the needs that hotels are facing across the country. So Kingston has a voice there, and there aren't very many cities that are represented, so we're really proud about that. And then again, with TAIO, they have a policy advisory committee, which is really active, and it helps kind of shape the provincial policy asks. So that's a place that we dedicate a lot of time as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. So Ted talked about some of these. I won't go over them in detail, but I think it's really important to note that the integrated destination strategy that he mentioned, it's a Kingston strategy. So it's put together by Tourism Kingston, CAP, and the City of Kingston, but it's done in consultation with all of you. It's done in consultation with a lot of community partners. And, so we use this to make sure that our annual plans and everything that it is that we're doing dovetail into it. There are key initiatives in there that CAP has been identified as a lead on, and so those have been listed here on this slide. But understanding again that, you know, development of our community leans on all of us. And so with that, one of the key priorities that CAP has taken on starting last year when the strategy rolled out was resident sentiment. So it's really important to us that we are engaging residents like we've never engaged before, that we have a community advisory committee that we've started that again brings together residents, and you know, we're floating ideas by them, we're getting their feedback on projects that we hope to see advanced in our community. And so this is something that we're really excited about. We recently did a resident sentiment survey to understand how community engages with tourism, understands tourism, wants tourism or supports it. And so that was a really great benchmark for us. And then as we continue this work, we want to be able to do that study again and see if we've moved the needle. A restaurant association, so that's something that's being launched Q1 of this year. We're in just the final stages right now, so really excited that Kingston will have a restaurant association, a hired staff to run that portfolio. For the first 3 years, it'll run under CAP as we help incubate this project and this organization, but eventually it will be its own governing organization. So really excited about that and how that organization can support the restaurants in Kingston like never before. Also collaborate with our partners like Tourism Kingston on programs like Kingstonlicious. So that's going to be really exciting to see that roll out, and happy and proud to be a part of that. Of course, we know about transportation. Ted's mentioned it. I've mentioned it. Kingston Penitentiary I've mentioned. You can skip to the next slide, please. Thank you. We both mentioned that provincial funding is really key. So we've seen this with lost bids on whether it be sporting events or whether it be business events. Ontario is falling behind, to be honest. There are other states and other provinces that have this figured out and we don't. So, we're trying to figure out how best to leverage the community partnerships and dollars that we do have to be competitive in this space. I just recently did a presentation to the Provincial Government Finance Committee that is doing pre-budget consultations. And my entire presentation was identified or focused on sport infrastructure needs and sport bid fund needs. So that's a key priority for us. Oh, sorry, I was just looking there. Yeah, I think we touched on all of those. Thank you. Okay, so thank you so much. Really appreciate everyone's time. Happy to answer any questions. But the team here at CAP and Tourism Kingston are available anytime that any organizations want to reach out.
Thank you so much, Krista and Ted, for all the wonderful information. And thank you for being such an excellent resource and champion for tourism and the businesses in your destination. And thank you for everyone who tuned in to watch, and don't hesitate to reach out to anybody on the team from Tourism Kingston or CAP if you have questions or you want to learn a little bit more about the work that they're doing. This concludes the formal portion of today's presentation. I can see that we have Gleam in the chat there. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to pop them in the chat. We also want to take this opportunity to invite you to sign up for the RTO9 industry newsletter, which connects you with industry insights, funding opportunities, and any upcoming workshops and webinars or events that we have. You can just scan the QR code here, but we'll open the floor to any questions if anybody has any. I will note that in the chat, RTO7 apparently claims to be the capital of diving, but RTO9 in Kingston is, as the first capital of the country, is really the true freshwater shipwreck diving capital of the country. So I know that you guys mentioned diving in your nice brand video there, and I know that Neptune and Silesia Diving was very excited about that.
We also have a lot more exciting things to do in tandem with diving than Tobermory does.
Perfect. So I think that concludes our presentation today. This session is recorded. Everyone will be getting a copy of the recording following the session today. Thank you so much, everyone from Tourism Kingston and CAP for joining and presenting today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.